Educated, and Broke
is a weekly entertainment podcast
where we mix hip hop,
headlines, and all things ATL
into the success of Black millennials
in the Black culture.
All right, guys, we are back here on Black, Educated, and Broke. Shout out to Black Icons. That was our commercial that you just heard. As we post them all the time on our page, we always want to support small businesses, and we especially want to support brands who are representing for the culture.
That's right. Where my Black Icons hat? I got to find it
Black
right here
Icon
somewhere.
tripping.
I had it on this weekend.
I
I did.
Okay. Well, you did, Mike, when we was at all of our tours. See, Mike B be representing. They need to give you some free merch right there on the screen, okay? But also, before we took the break, we were talking about Melanin news, and we had like a special segment because we're going to have Sydney A in the building. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my brother Mike B so he can give us these headlines.
All right, so before we get into just this special election conversation that we're doing, I got a couple of headlines. So the number one thing, flip the Senate. It's a rising social media caption. Now, of 2,000 politicians to ever serve in the U.S. Senate, only 10 have been Black. So as Senator Kamala Harris takes her place seeking the vice presidency, Cory Booker is the lone Black senator in the Democratic Party seeking re-election out of New Jersey. Former Secretary of Agriculture of the Clinton administration, Mike Espy, is running for a second time in Mississippi. Jamie Harrison is running to unseat South Carolina incumbent Republican Senator Lindsey Graham. 35-year-old Mayor Adrian Perkins of Shreveport, Louisiana, he's seeking to unseat Republican Senator Bill Cassidy. And the Reverend Dr. Raphael Warnock, the youngest pastor appointed to the historic Ebenezer Baptist Church, home of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., is seeking the seat of longtime Republican Georgia Senator Johnny Isakson, which was appointed to, of course, WNBA Dream co-owner Kelly Loeffler, and she's running as well. And lastly, Black Girl Magic, former organizer, first-time political candidate Marquita Bradshaw. She's seeking a Senate seat in Tennessee. Now, Bradshaw became the first Black woman to win a major political party nomination in any statewide race in Tennessee. So, Ron, tell your boy Cube, Biden or Trump, they can't do nothing without a Congress in their favor. So you know what? If you didn't vote early, November 3rd. Now we've been waiting. Finally, the long-awaited Richard Pryor biopic has a new director, a writer, producer, and that's Blackish creator Kenya Barris. So from TV1, MGM just recently, they acquired the rights not only for the Richard Pryor story, but also the rights to the Sammy Davis Jr. biopic. So shout out to MGM for that. And y'all keep playing with this Rona if you want to. So this kind of hurt me, but a beautiful young sister. It's on our social media. 26-year-old bailiff and deputy Lakia Rouse. She just passed away one day after she was hospitalized due to coronavirus. Now, after working a full shift at the Guilford Courthouse, that's in North Carolina, the next day she seemed sick, left work for the hospital. A press release says that the medical officials have not connected the virus to her death. And also another fatal police shooting, Walter Wallace Jr., 27 years old, a Black man out of Philadelphia, was killed this past Monday after officers say he approached them with a knife. I have that image posted on my Twitter page, MikeB_news. Now joining us just for a few minutes from Chicago, Democratic political commentator of the YouTube show, hashtag BidenHarris Watch. She does that with Reese of Black Woman Views Media. You can see her on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Drew comments. He's viral on his videos about Kamala Harris. But a Kamala Harris advocate, my friend Sydney A, also known as DJ Alma Dontella. Welcome to Melanin News right here on Black Educated and Broke. So I want to get right into it real quickly. A lot of headlines this past week, November 3rd. The election is Tuesday. Judge Amy Barrett. Now, she replaces the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the U.S. Supreme Court. What does that look like for Democrats with the conservative court, as people are calling it?
We don't get a video?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, you know what? I appreciate y'all having me on. This time, I decided to kind of just join in audio first time around. But since I see that you guys have a platform for video, the next time I'll be sure to get on camera, hop on and talk to your audience. I would definitely love. So y'all got to invite me back. So that's what that means. But So, but yeah, again, I definitely appreciate you guys taking the time to bring me onto the show. And basically what a conservative court looks like. It definitely I will say this, healthcare is on the ballot. That means, with a conservative leaning court, that means things like pre-existing conditions will matter again, and whether or not someone is able to get health insurance. I know this is an important thing for a lot of folks, especially those who are, who will be considered survivors of this pandemic. So yeah, they're talking about taking healthcare away from folks in the middle of a raging pandemic. That means that abortion, contraception, IVF, Black maternal health, those are all things that are on the chopping block as well. All of the funding that we would have to go into, understanding why so many, Black women are dying from preeclampsia during pregnancy and childbirth. And, we're, all of the so all of the systems that we need to fund and put into play to get this research off the ground, that's essentially going to be thwarted as well. If they are able to overturn Roe, because all of those things, Roe versus Wade, all of those things go into Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is not just about abortion, it's about healthcare. Women who need low cost mammograms won't be able to get those anymore. Birth control is on the ballot. That means that they're getting rid of all forms of contraception, with an exception of maybe condoms. I'm not sure how that's going to play for that, but this is how extreme Amy Coney Barrett's views are. She has proven to be an extremist when it comes to the way that she has legislated in the past and talked about. I wouldn't even say legislated, but the cases that she's taken on, and the groups that she has endorsed and or have endorsed her per se, are known extremist groups. She was involved in a case recently where she ruled on the side of an employer when a Black employee sued for racial discrimination, and she basically stated that the N-word was not considered to be hostile on a work floor. So basically, she ruled in favor of these, the employers. The employer's right to use racial epithets on a work floor for minorities. So that's what we're looking at here. The way that we're able to combat this is, as you guys stated in the earlier in the segment, we have to take back the Senate. We have to have control of the House and
in the Senate.
Absolutely.
Exactly, because what we have to do is that we have to have so many barriers put into place, judicial barriers from before we even have to use the Supreme Court. We need to make sure that, the VRA is reinstated. We need to make sure, that civil rights are protected from the top to the bottom. We're talking about the ADA as well. The ADA is on the line. We're talking same-sex marriage is on the line here. All of these things need to be protected, and we need ethics committees in place. And the only way that we're going to be able to do that and rebuild a strong, executive branch of government is by making sure that Democrats have the power that they need to get these things done. When Democrats are in power, things change for the better for everyone.
Absolutely. So I got to go with a Senate majority and still control of the House. Will Democrats deliver on a federal level that will get more people involved locally? I think that's been the next thing.
Yeah, for sure. And getting involved at the local level starts with, small committees. We're talking, school boards, school elections. We're talking about, if you guys are listening out there and you guys want to start a union, if you guys, if you get enough folks involved in your workspace and you guys want to start a union, that's a way to get started with civil duties, you know what I'm saying, or civil work, if you will. And then you can go from there. You can become a commissioner. You can become, a representative. You can go out and get people registered to vote. You can do, there's so many different things that we all can do to ensure that, our local politics are matching what's happening at the national level.
Gotcha. So my next question is, with this presidency, a lot of people are not feeling the ticket, but why the Biden-Harris ticket? Who got the noise? What's going
And
on?
somebody's background is going.
Sitting there, you good? Your mic went out.
Yeah, the host was muting me. I guess they were trying to figure out who the background noise was coming from.
I got you all good. So my next question is the Biden-Harris ticket. You got people against it, people love it, people like, whatever. Why this ticket?
Okay, yeah, that's a great question. Again, we can just go back to the data. We can just look at the amount of dollars being poured into this ticket from the time that Kamala was announced as VP. And that, if I'm a person that, I know numbers, women lie, men lie, but numbers never lie. And the numbers show how wildly popular this ticket is. So I think that what we need to remember is that there are folks in the media who are not necessarily in touch with what's happening on the ground. And for those who have concerns about why, this ticket and its popularity, should talk to everyday people about what Kamala means to them, or what a Biden, what a Biden presidency will mean to them, especially older Americans, who have supported Joe Biden for years.
Right.
This is a ticket that people know. This is a ticket that is familiar to a lot of people, and this is a ticket that is going to elevate the livelihoods of so many different people from so many different walks of life. We're talking record turnout already from South Asians, which is a demographic that has been religiously ignored by political analysts all across the board for years and years and years. And they are a growing demographic. They are a strong demographic, and they are coming out in record numbers for Kamala because that is their representation. Just like she is just as much my representation as a Black woman, she's also a South Asian woman at the same time, and she brings that element, to this ticket where she's able to, where Biden is looking at things on a macro scale. Kamala can come in and chisel in on the micro level and get to those and get to those groups that have never been crossed before by politics, those unforgotten groups, those folks that feel like their voices are being suppressed, and they're never represented by politicians at the national level. I hear Kamala's voice in my hairdresser, in my hair salon. And she's on V103 talking to, my aunties and my grandmother and them. And she's, hey, my friend Dick Durbin. And I'm just like, Dick Durbin is the incumbent Illinois state Democratic, Illinois state for the Democrats. But when I hear that, I instantly think, wow, how many of these elders, these Black elders on the south side of Chicago, on the west side of Chicago, are going to hear this Black woman, this AKA from Howard, and be like, oh my God, she gonna do that, baby gonna do everything she gonna do. Y'all know how they do, so it's just such a well-rounded ticket. And that is why perfect ticket for right now, because it is an inclusive ticket. We're talking about a former AG who, whose monumental work led to the legalization of same-sex marriage at the national level. I mean, we're talking about an attorney general who went out of her way to end the gay panic defense that was used to that was used in defense of folks who were murdering transgender people, women in particular. So when you think about the lens that both of these candidates bring to this ticket, there's something for everyone. You have your conservatives that can align with what Joe Biden is talking about. You have your progressives that Kamala Harris is the second most progressive senator ranked after Ed Markey. You don't get much better than this ticket. This ticket of the time.
So we got to get ready to get you out of here. Definitely appreciate you. My last question is, and I don't know if the team got questions, so we got, I don't know how much time we got.
We only have 2 minutes, but
for black men and this ticket, can black men, because we've seen the black men serve in the Democratic Party, mostly elders. We got a couple of young men now, like the Lieutenant Governor of Wisconsin, Mandela is I think a rising politician, Hakeem Jeffries. Can black men trust this ticket?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yes, absolutely. Black men should be excited about this ticket. Black men should understand that they have an advocate in both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, who have, understood some of the intricacies that, black men, some of the adversary, I should say, not intricacies, but adversary that black men face, as victims of police violence, as victims of racism,
right?
From and victims of of social injustices, and Kamala has that lens. She led the fight to to making sure that prisoners were, former felons were able to have jobs and training, once they left prison, which would slow down recidivism. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but
recidivism. You're close.
Perfect. Thank you. That. But in short, this ticket is this is for Kamala, for black men, as it pertains to Kamala. Kamala is their advocate, and she is going to be able to not just advocate for them, but listen to what they really need and deliver on that, and we can see that with the passing of the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. We can see this with with the ways in which they are funding HBCUs and ending they're trying to eliminate student loan debt to a certain extent. They're getting, we're prioritizing mental health, we're prioritizing job training. All of these things will ultimately uplift not just black women, but black men as well, who tend to fall through those cracks. And Kamala has done the work, the tough work, to make sure that these programs are not just efficient, but that they're helping and they're changing people's lives for the better. So I really do honestly think that black men will win with Kamala. I've always said that. I've always felt that way. And I think that if they have any questions or concerns, that both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are going to listen. And that is the most important thing. They're able to move. So if you're not sure right now, I would say bring it to them, talk to them, get a meeting, get involved.
All right, November 3rd, that's Tuesday. If you haven't voted, get out and vote. Thank you, sister. Drop your social real quick so they can follow you.
Thank you guys so much. I'm over here stumbling over words, but I really appreciate you guys having me on tonight. Again, it was an absolute pleasure. Everybody can find me at the Sydney A. That's SYDNEY capital A on Twitter. And I am the Sydney A Live. That's SYDNEY capital A Live. THE at the beginning, on Instagram. I am a wild time, so y'all can come and you never know I'm a bag of tricks, man. You never know what you're gonna get, but I definitely appreciate you guys having me on tonight, and I look forward to joining y'all again. And next time, I promise y'all, I will be on video, made up. I got a ring light, all that stuff. Yes,
you got to bring the mix. You got to mix.
For sure, at any time.
All right, sister. All right, we definitely appreciate you. Y'all been listening to my girl right here on Black Educated and Broke.
Black icons. It's strong. It's empowerment. It's leadership. It's me. It's the culture. I'm African American. My skin tone is brown. I have a son. He's African American. His skin tone is brown. I'm here to uplift. I'm here to inspire. I'm here to lead. You can follow us at Black Icons 83 on Facebook and Instagram. And right now we're working on the website, so anything you see on the page, you can shoot us a DM, and someone to get back to you within 24 hours. Shop Black Icons.